Want to support what we do here? Go to mwpnews.com and click the Help Us Out link to buy one of my ebooks for $2.99, or you can support directly at bewareofspoilers.com. Welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I am Adam.
And I'm Josie.
Josie is back from her weeks-long adventure, slowly dying.
Yes.
Not actually, to clarify. So, I sent you a question earlier to ruminate on, to mull over.
Oh my goodness, we're getting right into it. Okay.
Well, do you want to do something else first? Do you have something else you want to talk about before we get into
No.
the
No.
top? Okay, well.
Usually you have a lot of other things to talk about.
I mean, I could complain about diet soda if you want.
I'm good.
Like,
Diet soda's gross.
I just went to Burger King and I got, the Coke Freestyle machine. I wasn't going to get a
The
soda.
freestyle machine, is
Yeah,
that what those are called?
it's called, it says on the thing, Coke Freestyle machine.
That's
You can,
funny.
you can freestyle, you can do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
I'm like, great, because that's the only place on the planet you can get a peach Fanta, is a Coke Freestyle machine.
Ooh.
The face doesn't translate to audio, but it's basically
My ooh did.
a Fanta Orange, but it's peach flavored. It's pretty good. And the only
I
place you can
hate
get
peach flavored things. The only thing that I like that's peach flavored are peaches and tea.
so the two dominant things that you get peach flavored.
Yeah, I don't like other things that are peach flavored.
How often do you run into other things that are peach flavored in your daily life that's not?
More often than you think. People keep thinking that I will like the peach flavored thing and then go, oh,
See, like I can
try this.
understand
And then I don't like it.
like the peach rings. Have you ever had those? It's like a gummy candy.
Yeah, but that doesn't taste like peaches.
They're
That just
gross.
tastes like sugar.
They're gross. But either way, it's like you can get all the different types of Fanta. Or you can get like a Fanta fruit punch too. Um, so
Gross.
it's just a carbonated fruit, regardless. So I went over to the machine and I hit the thing, and I went to start it up, and it wasn't working. So I was like, I asked the person about it, I'm like, can someone fix the machine? So after 5 minutes, someone comes over, looks at the machine, like it's broken. They only have anything that's zero sugar, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're on this adventure then. And I got the same thing but zero sugar version, and it's absolutely disgusting. Um, because
That
the
doesn't
act,
sound like it's broken. That sounds more like they ran out of the syrups.
yeah, but they ran out of. I don't know how you run out of the syrup to add the. I guess you could run out of the syrup for sugar. Um, but like they only had. But I was like, look, I paid for the large soda. They wouldn't refund me because they already gave me the cup and they couldn't take the cup back. And I was like, can you refund me for the cup? And they're like, no, sorry. And I'm like, all right, so I have this cup now. Might as well let's try the zero sugar version of it. And
They
it's
said
gross.
no.
Yeah,
Where were you?
Burger King.
It's have it your way. They should have refunded you.
Yeah, but they said
Yeah,
no.
no, they can't take the cup back, but like they also can't give you a drink that you want. So, oh my goodness, you gotta stand up to these fucking people.
I never said up to anyone.
Yeah. Except for
If
me. You
if
like to,
if in a confrontation, I fold like a lawn chair.
except for with me, because you keep yelling at me all the time.
I don't yell at you. You make it seem like I'm mean, but I'm not. Um, I actually had something mean to say planned because I went to GameStop before this because I was wandering because I was looking for something to do while I was waiting for you. Because I get out of work at 5, and I got over to where I usually go to record by 5:30. Like, fuck, I got an hour to kill. So I went into GameStop and I was walking around, and I'm like, it'd be really funny if I start the conversation about us talking about Dune by being like, well, Little Miss Sunshine over here was like, no, Dune doesn't count because it's not Star Wars.
I
But
mean, it doesn't, but
we'll get to that later.
it's
So,
Dune.
so the
Um,
question that I posed to you
mhm.
is if you could adapt any video game, because this is in vogue now, um, for movie studios. Fallout came out, and I know you really liked Fallout. Um, we just had The Last of Us last year. Sonic the Hedgehog is that movie is gonna, you know, make me applaud in the theater if they do what I think they're gonna
Knuckles,
do. That's coming out this week. I don't think it's gonna be great though. Um, but like
the
the
Dungeons and Dragons one.
that's not a video game.
Well, whatever. No, it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. It was Warcraft.
Oh, that was like 10 years ago almost.
Oh, whatever.
Um, but like more recently, we've gotten to the point, and that made like $1 billion because of China. But like more recently, we've seen good video game adaptations. Um, so the question I posited is, if you could adapt video games, they come to you. They're like, Josie, you are going to be the one who's going to pick what video game we adapt next. What do you pick?
Um, Mass Effect?
Hmm. I'm surprised they haven't done that. I've never played Mass Effect either, though.
Right? And then you told me to pick three.
Yes,
You were very specific. I'm never allowed to just have one thing.
I know this is a
I
tough
have to
thing.
have multiple things
I know
always.
this is tough.
Um, or I'm sorry, Left for Dead.
I've never played that either. I bought it though recently.
Okay. And then Portal.
Another one that I've never played, but I bought recently.
I think that
Um,
would be interesting
I think
because
from
it
what I
would
know about
be,
Portal, it'd be cool.
it's kind of like, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be so much about the solving the puzzles as much as it's the um like the world that they've built around it, which is super interesting and creepy and cool.
Hmm. Yeah, they got that. That would be a good one, I think. What's Left for Dead about? Because I've never played. I know it's a zombie thing.
Mm, hold on.
Keeping in mind you picked this choice.
I know, but I had to ask people. I had like two. Um, so I don't know, it's a zombie thing. That's about it.
The thing that brought this up was apparently Disney is working on Kingdom Hearts as a Disney Plus thing. Um, and my three, I was thinking about like what other things could you do, and I'm like, Spectrobes would be one that I think would work very well. You don't remember that from the mid to late 2000s?
Nope.
It was a short-lived Nintendo Disney Interactive series.
Nope.
It was kind of like Pokemon, but with these little space creatures that came from fossils. It was pretty fun. The third game came out the week of Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. Um, and it just bombed sales-wise because it opened against... It was Arkham City. And for obvious reasons, Arkham City demolished it. Um, the second one I would go with Mercenaries. Did you ever play Mercenaries for the
No.
PS2 Xbox? So it is about these mercenaries. You play as one, but you can pick from three. They go into this. It's this open world game where in the first game they go to North Korea, I believe. The second game they go to Venezuela, and you're dealing with these various factions in these areas, and you have to what's it called? You have to, you know, be a private mercenary who works for the various factions through the story. So like in two, there's like a civil war going on in Venezuela. So like you work for the everyone but the Venezuelan army. There's like pirates. You work for the Communist Party in Venezuela, who's in rebellion. This oil company, the United Nations, and the nation of China are the factions that you work for in there. So I was like, it'd be interesting to do something like that, set in like the northern Midwest of the United States.
Okay.
That's something because and the other thing is too, it's like like it leans into some of the like '80s action kind of stuff, the game series. So like as an '80s action homage, I think that would do very well. Um, And then the third one, I've talked about it before. They've done a lot with this franchise already, but I want to see them do Pokemon, but I want to see them do Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD, which is, do you remember those GameCube games?
Yeah, um I know Colosseum, but that's just like a fighting Pokemon one.
No, that was Pokken. That was more recent. Coliseum it was the same general RPG mechanics as the regular Pokemon game, but instead of catching wild Pokemon, you had to catch other trainers' Pokemon because
Yeah.
they were corrupted.
No, but yeah, it was in a Colosseum though, and like I
No, it
don't
was
know.
kind of like open zone because like each you had to go to different towns and you fast travel between the towns.
Hmm.
Um, I think the one you're thinking of is Stadium
Oh, it could be.
because like this was like a game that was on the N64. This one you play it like a regular
No,
Pokemon.
I played it on the GameCube.
Maybe you just played it in
I
multiplayer
also
then.
I might have only played it in multiplayer.
Yeah, that because this one was one when you played in single player. It was very much like the regular games. Um, but I would do like if I was able to, that's the Pokemon thing I would do. And I would do there's this thing in the game Mount Battle where it's 100 battles in a row you have to win.
Now, is
Um,
this a um TV show? Is this a movie? Is this
in my
live action?
fantasy you do live action
You're
uh
wrong.
series. Did you not like Detective Pikachu?
No,
You didn't like that?
no.
I very much like that aesthetic.
Hmm.
Um, and that game was cool, and that movie was really cool. Um,
I thought it was fine.
like it, that was the first time I'd really seen Catherine Newton in anything too. She was in that. She's the reporter girl who talks really fast until she just forgets to do that at a certain point
Mm,
in the movie and just like
I
gives up on it.
cannot even remember who that is or what you're talking
The
about.
the Scott's daughter in
I'm not
Quantumania.
gonna I'm not gonna be able to remember any and
Oh,
not
okay.
much of that movie stuck. Like it was fine.
Scott's daughter in Quantumania is the female lead in that.
Didn't even remember she was in it.
Oh. But yeah, that's the kind of thing. Well, okay, so you do it animated, but like my thing is, I would do it like the raid style, where it's like you got to get to the top of this tower,
So what, like so you're just watching them.
battle their way to the top
That seems very one-dimensional.
with flashbacks to like the story of how they got to that point, why he's battling to the top. You really you don't see this as a every other person I've spoken to like that'd be really cool.
I disagree.
I know you. I'm not gonna say it because you're gonna say I'm being mean.
You are. You just are always mean to me.
Criticism is just being mean. What? So this Kingdom Hearts thing that I've been pestering you about now for about 7 months.
Yeah.
You told me next time we record we would discuss what your issues were with this idea.
I don't even remember what the idea was.
So the idea was Kingdom Hearts. What do you know about Kingdom Hearts?
Almost nothing.
Okay, so it is a ridiculous franchise. Um, that started in '02 or '03, I think, for the PS2.
I don't know what your idea is. I don't think that my problem has anything to do
Well,
with the
no,
game itself.
I'm laying the groundwork for anyone who's
Oh.
unfamiliar. Um, so what it is you play as this kid in some of the games, and he has to save the world from darkness with the help of Donald and Goofy, the Disney characters, and various other in various Disney worlds, where
Because they're
basically
super known for battling things.
yes, and you have to go through various Disney worlds to do it. So, like in the
And
first one, you go to Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland. You go to Hercules. You go to like Agrabah from Aladdin. You go to the worst world, which is Atlantica from Little Mermaid, because the swimming controls are annoying. You go to Neverland from Peter Pan, and you got to fight through, and then there's like a side mission where you got to go through a bunch of mini games at Winnie the Pooh. The there are a bunch of these games. So the idea I had is that because I've played all the games and Josie hasn't, the idea was every quarter she would play one of the games, and every 3 months, so she has time to do it. I saw that eye roll.
That's
Um,
not enough time.
the narratives are not that long.
Like, okay.
Every 3 months we check in after she beats. So like 3 months we do, Kingdom Hearts 1. Then 3 months later we do Kingdom Hearts 2. Or we do Chain of Memories, then 2 after that. Um, so and we just have her ask her questions and give her thoughts on it as she goes. Now, what were your questions about this? Because you said I have questions that we will address next time we record.
I don't remember what my questions are, but my concerns are, um, me not having time to do that.
Okay. That's why I said 3 months per game.
Yep. My
And it's
job
on
is very
Xbox.
dem my job is very demanding. I would be happy to try to do that, but if you are giving me, I would prefer to do something that if I'm going to try to do that, I talk about it when I would like to.
Okay,
And
so that's actually okay. That's probably a better idea. That way, if it takes you less time, we're not sitting
or
here
longer
waiting.
time,
Right,
I can just say, "Hey, I'm at this point. This is what I think."
right.
And I can
Or we can just do
we
the
can do
quarterly. That's
check-ins
a better idea. The quarterly check-in, where it's like, how far have you gotten?
or
And
when I feel like it.
okay, you don't even want to stick to. I will record every 3 months, and we will talk about in
No.
general. Okay.
No. I can't.
At some point every 3 months, we'll talk about it. I don't know.
We'll talk
Maybe.
about it when I want to talk about it. I'm willing
God
to
damn.
try, but I cannot guarantee you that I will even get halfway through in 3 months. My, I don't know if I would have time to do anything substantial.
I also think there's a non-zero chance you get partway through the first game and you're. See, the thing is too, it's like the thing that really works about it.
And what if I hate it?
I have a feeling you won't, because the
Well, just
action's
because
really
you
good.
love it
Well, no,
doesn't
that's
mean
not.
I'm gonna like it.
Okay, so you played Pokemon what's it called? You played Pokemon Sword and Shield. Did you like that?
Yeah, it was fine. It gave me something to do while I was in a time in my life where I didn't have a lot to do.
Okay. And you hadn't played a Pokemon game before that, right?
That's right.
Okay, I rest my case.
Okay.
I don't give bad suggestions. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll see. I like a looser structure, I guess, so
Well,
that
like,
way
do you like
I
action
don't
games
end
in
up having
general?
to feel guilty because I wasn't able to get to it because I was working too much.
So, do you like action games in general?
Hmm, what kind, like, what do you mean? What do
Well,
you,
like Kingdom Hearts' action is not turn-based. Um, where it's like turn like when you think of like Final Fantasy, that is a turn-based action game.
I tend to not always like or stick with games that don't have an open world aspect.
This Kingdom Hearts does. Where it's like each world you go to has multiple areas you go through, and you gotta like walk around them and you know fight your way through stuff and do stuff like that. So it is open world. Um, it's just like each world is different. So like when you go to like Halloween Town from Nightmare Before Christmas, like that's its own world. Then you go to this big world map. Then you go to the next world, and then you go like things like that. And each zone, because keep in mind it's a port of a PS2 game. There's technical limitations that were
Mhm.
there for how big the world can be and like how
Okay.
big each zone is. So it's like when you keep that in mind, I think a lot of the limitations are they do a lot within those limitations. I think is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Um, and
I'm willing
then
to try. I just, I don't want to be held to restraints or
Okay.
restrictions that I may not be able to meet.
Okay, that is fair.
Um,
Would you rather play on PC or on Xbox?
uh, I don't know.
Because you don't have a PlayStation like a normal person. You have an Xbox and a PC.
I have a Switch.
It's on Switch, but is your internet connection strong enough for you to do cloud-based? Because the game is it's like an 80 gigabyte game, so it's like it's gotta be cloud-based on the Switch. So if your internet's good, it's fine. But if your internet's not good, you're gonna run into an issue. She's muted now, but she didn't warn me, so I just kind of left it open for her to ask a question. Um, but yeah, so because it is cloud-based, I don't know if there's a physical copy of it for the Switch.
80 gigs of what?
Like
For
the
what?
the install is 80 gigs.
The
Like so,
install.
because the install is 80 gigab because the install is 80 gigabytes, the Switch can't handle that. So it's cloud based on the Switch. So it's not physically on your console. You have to have an internet connection and do cloud based. Um, I don't know if she muted me or not because she muted on my end, and it looks like she's mocking me because she's doing her finger in the same way I am.
You shut up for a second. I'm trying to get the question answered.
So yeah, so she's doing that. She should just take her earbud out because I gotta keep talking, even though she's not. Um, because that's the issue is that she's currently having a conversation with someone else in the room on her end. Let me just pause the recording while she does this.
We have a memory stick. Ugh, We have a memory stick. Um, that is more than 80
Well, no,
gigs.
no, no. The issue is that the Switch can't handle it. So
The Switch can't handle it.
you know how some titles on the Switch you can only play online because it's not natively like if you play Assassin's Creed
Huh?
on the
It
Switch,
streams it to the Switch.
yeah, it
Yeah,
streams to the Switch. Like Assassin's Creed's too big for the Switch, and like
we have
what's
good
the
internet.
okay, so you'd be fine then on the Switch. All right, there we go. We have nailed that down. So you'd be fine on the Switch then. Um, as long
I'm
you
like
need
trying to get the answer and you just keep talking.
well, because
And
the
I'm
issue is
like,
it's like what you should have done is taken the headphones off so that way I could talk without you hearing me in your ear the whole time.
I did, but all you were doing was sassing. So,
Yeah, that's my job.
ugh, it's your
Um,
job.
whatever.
Okay, so talk about
But yeah, so
you're a
yes,
pro at it.
it,
So
it
let's talk about Dune.
okay, yes, let's talk about Dune, which Josie gave me an attitude about when I said,
There
let's talk
was
about
no
Dune today.
attitude. I'm not allowed to say things. You're the one with an attitude.
Um,
Ugh.
this dynamic is great, by the way. The more annoyed we get at each other, the better it is. That episode we did a few months ago, where I was talking about the GameStop thing and we were just arguing the entire time, was one of our best reviewed episodes.
It's me just telling you that you're wrong the
Yeah,
whole time.
the more we yell at each other, the better it goes. So let's keep that in
Okay.
mind. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so um, I said that we should talk about Dune, and I think I said this a few months ago when Dune Part Two first came out because um, Dune came out in 1965. It's a foundational text for a lot of modern science fiction, or all modern science fiction. Like the first science fiction I mean, the first science fiction, quote unquote, would be the story of Icarus.
Well, I think that you've blown Dune enough.
I don't think I have.
So, I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. It kept my attention. I didn't fall asleep. That means a lot to me, especially nowadays. Um,
Yeah, she went to a
and
theater to watch this.
I did. I went to a theater and I went to the IMAX just like you said. I listen sometimes, whatever. Um, so
Um,
um it
yeah,
was good. I liked it.
me and
I was very confused. I feel like they don't um fill in a lot of spaces that, um, like if you haven't read the books that you maybe not won't understand. So I had a lot of questions during it.
Well,
Um,
here's the issue: is that the movie deviates a lot from the book because the book
so
is very net. Well, the book takes place over the course of years, so
yeah,
like the baby that is Anya Taylor-Joy, Aaliyah,
has been
she's
born.
she's born in the book.
Yeah, I got clued in. Um, it's just, I just think that they could have maybe done a better job of explaining what the heck was going on and maybe reminding people, like, because it's a lot, maybe reminding people of the families. And like, there was one section where they go to the black and white
Oh, and they go to Giddy Prime.
world,
That's
and
fucking great.
it was very confusing because I did not realize that they had gone to, and I was paying attention. I was diligently trying to understand. Um, but I did not understand that it had gone to another planet. Like I wasn't sure. I was like, I think they're on another planet, but I don't know. Like, is this just a thing that happens on Dune? Like, um, I didn't understand it at all. So it would have been nice to have just something that came up on the screen that said, that the planet, like it's a different planet.
Do you want me to say something that you might get mad at me for?
You're gonna say it no matter what I
Yeah,
say.
I am. They say there's a subtitle on the screen that says Giddy Prime, Homeworld of the Harkonnens.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. I've seen
Was
that
it
movie
cut off in
four.
the in okay, did they do a new release of it or something?
No,
Because it was
I saw
not
it.
on the screen.
It
I was searching
100%
all
was.
over.
I promise you, it they do that because they do the same thing in part one when they go to Saloon de Secundus.
Where was this?
On the screen, it's like when they show the
On the
establishing
screen.
shot of the bridge going into the city. It's like Giddy Prime, Homeworld of the Harkonnens. It says on the side of the screen.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. They do have a subtitle up to explain to you that it's the homeworld of the Harkonnens.
Well, I missed it. I must have blinked. It was sorry for having human functions. Um,
It like the this is probably gonna be my favorite movie of the year. Me and Peter,
I
um,
liked it. It was good.
the weekend it came out, me and Peter both saw it the same day. We went to the advanced screening on Sunday, the week before it came out. Um, I came out of the screening as he was going in because he's West Coast, so like the it perfectly lined up where I'm leaving and he's getting ready to go in to see it.
And
And
then
I'm
you
just
guys
like,
like high-fived each other
well,
and you
no, because
walked
we
past.
were several thousand miles apart.
Okay.
Because I said West Coast, East Coast, and I said to him, I was like,
Well,
holy fuck,
maybe if it had been a little subtitle up on the screen, I would have remembered or saw it or heard.
what? A subtitle on the bottom of the screen, Peter's on the West Coast.
Yes.
Um, we gotta put subtitles up for random information for the podcast, just so you
Yeah.
can keep it straight about our
Yeah.
personal lives.
Yeah.
Adam was at
Hmm.
work until 5:30 today. Um, but yeah, it's a what's it like? We don't you don't get Star Wars without this book, the original book, and there's also other ties to it. The reason why um, Lynch picked to do Dune in 1984 instead of doing Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Did you know that? David Lynch was the
Hmm.
first choice. David Lynch was the first choice to direct Return of the Jedi in
Hmm.
1984, but he dropped out to do Dune instead. His adaptation
Oh,
of Dune in 1984 with
was it any
McLaughlin.
good?
Um, it's different. Um, Sting wears a mankini in the movie as Fade Routha.
Who's Sting?
Sting from the Police, the singer.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was a character. I'm sorry.
no,
I didn't realize that it was like Sting, Sting.
no,
That's
Sting. Yeah,
funny.
he plays Fade Routha and he wears a mankini in the
Oh,
movie. It's great. Um, he yeah they I think that like, are you excited for Messiah?
I don't know what's Messiah.
Messiah is the next movie.
Um,
Dune Messiah.
I am not excited, but I am interested and I will probably go see it.
It's a lot less actiony. Um, and it's very a lot of it is very much a response to people not understanding that Paul is not the good guy.
Who's
And
Paul?
Paul is the main character played by Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my goodness, they don't say the guy's name enough.
Paul Atreides. They call him like I will give you that because they call him like 75 other names throughout the course of the movie.
Hmm.
Um, like he is the one
And like
who
I can't remember Zendaya's character, but I just know that she's Zendaya.
they pronounce it Chani in the movie, but the audiobook pronounces it Cheney. Um, so like that and CH are the only two things that they pronounce differently, and I go with the audiobook pronunciation.
Hmm.
Um, so it is, I think that like the end of that movie is gonna win Timothy Chalamet an Oscar, I think.
Yeah,
From the moment he drinks the water of life and then has the whole thing where he goes in,
the new movie or the one that just went, that just this one?
the one that just came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the moment he drinks the water of life and he goes in and he takes control of the Fremen.
I wish they did a little bit more explanation of like the families and stuff because it seems very important, but when you don't
It's
have any
not though.
context from the movies it or the books, it feels like you're missing a huge portion of it.
It's really not though because there are a few major families, but the only ones that really matter are the three main houses, which are Carino, which is the Emperor, which is
Right, but
Florence
like
Pugh and her
so
dad.
I still don't understand, I guess. Like I had a lot of questions that I needed filled in. So I didn't understand um why um why he had to marry so understood the having to marry the daughter thing, but I didn't understand why all of a sudden now they were going to be attacked by all these people. Like they through the emperor. Like why are they on
So
the bad sides now? Like they should just be rallied around the fact that he threw overthrew the emperor.
So the Emperor was not like it's different from Star Wars. The structure of the Imperium in Dune. The Imperium is made up of the Landsraad, which is all of the major and minor houses that are existing. So like the major houses, you have like House Atreides, you have House Harkonnen, House Carino, which is the house of the Emperor. You have like House Orthos, which is only in a video game. There's a few other major houses that have made appearances in other material, but really it's just those three. And there are a bunch of other houses too. There are tons of houses minor. Um, the House Carino has been the seat of the government for about 10,000 years. Like the lineage of Emperor Shaddam goes back to the Butlerian Jihad about 10,000 years prior. Um, so now that House Atreides has unseated them and is like, look, we're now in charge. The Emperor has been deposed. We're now in charge. That's why everyone's kind of like, well, this is a problem because we had this going. The other thing is, my one issue with the movies is they don't really explain how important spice is to the universe. I don't think
That's true.
like without spice, there's no intergalactic travel or interstellar travel. Because what the spice does is it opens the minds of the guild navigators enough that they can see the future enough to be able to travel through hyperspeed or hyperspace, for to use Star Wars terms. So because it's ordinarily a very dangerous thing, but when you use the spice, you have the mental capability to be
Yeah,
able to
they definitely
predetermine that.
don't explain that.
I don't think the semantics of that are as important. It's just like they don't explain that like spice is like space cocaine that lets you see the future, and it's important to travel. Like without that, you cannot travel. Period.
They don't
That's
talk
why,
about how it's important to travel. They do make it very clear it's space cocaine.
yeah, space cocaine that can let you see the future. Um, like they, that's kind of like when you get to the end and it's like we have all the nukes trained on the spice fields. That's them saying like we control all of the spice production, and the only place that they can get spice is Arrakis. There's nowhere else in the known universe that produces spice. Um, and they've tried to make it synthetically, and it never works.
Hmm.
So the only place you can get it, it's naturally occurring on Arrakis because the sandworms make it naturally.
What, pooping?
Yes,
Oh.
Um, so that's why the spice is so important. So because they have control, and because House Arrakis has now wrested control, House Atreides has wrested control of Arrakis from the Emperor, and is like, we are now controlling this. And that's why the rest of the Lannistrad is upset, and why they have to go into this war.
Hmm. Well, is there anything else about Dune that you feel like you need to address?
Well, what other questions? Do you have other questions? So I can probably explain it.
No,
So I've
not
read
at the
all the
moment.
books.
I've I will have questions next time I watch it, and then I will bring you more questions
Okay.
because you seem very excited to
Oh,
answer
I
those
these
questions.
the that's what I was hoping would happen. I was hoping you'd be like, I saw it, but I had questions, and I'm like, well,
I did, but it's been a little bit and I'm kind of tired, so I don't really remember all my questions. So but next time I watch it, I will make note of my questions and I will bring them.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the movie again in the near future because it's coming to what's it called? It's coming to streaming shortly.
What's it gonna
Uh,
stream on?
it's gonna be on Max
Oh,
probably in
sweet.
June. But it is gonna be you can buy it now streaming. It's gonna be on Blu-ray next month, and I'm 100% buying that.
Hmm.
But yeah, like we could talk about how 4,000 years after this, Paul's son turns into a giant human sandworm hybrid and is the God Emperor of the known universe.
Okay.
That's real. Like
Well, don't give anything
the
away.
the time gaps between the books are great because it's like the first one and then the second one I think is like 10 years or 12 years. Then it's like 20 years until Children of Dune, and then it's like 4,000 years for God Emperor, and then it's like I think 5 is shortly after God Emperor. Oh no, it's another 2,000 years to um Heretics, and then it's like 3 years to Chapter House.
Hmm.
Um because the Bene Gesserit get up to some shit in the future. Because the entire series is about the Bene Gesserit trying to regain control that they lost when Jessica decided to have a son instead of a daughter. Because the Bene Gesserit have such control over their bodies they can decide whether or not to have a boy or a girl.
That's also a thing that they don't really like address until
They
like the
do in
second movie.
they say it in the first part.
Oh.
After Mahayam talks to Jessica on the platform, she's like, "This is because you thought you were smarter than us. You decided to have a boy instead of a
Right,
girl like you were trained."
but like that doesn't really imply like that she has control to change that. It's more like I would have thought, oh, it's a medical procedure like that they
Uh,
have there in their future.
well, like that's the other thing too is that it's like, if I remember correctly, and Peter will correct me if I'm wrong after he listens to this, if he does. He the plan of the Bene Gesserit to create the Kwisatz Haderach is they intend to have Jessica have a girl. Um, Fade Routha and this girl were supposed to have a baby, and then that would be the Kwisatz Haderach.
Hmm.
And that would be a perfect one that would be completely within the control of Bene Gesserit, because they want to use that to control the universe. That would be the child that'd be able to take over everything. Then, because Paul was born instead of a girl, Paul, you know, has all the abilities, and then he goes through the water of life ceremony and becomes a Reverend Mother,
Hmm.
which allows him to access his ancestral memories, which is what that whole thing is. Like that, I don't think that was clearly explained either in the movie. Like when Jessica drinks the water of life while she's pregnant with Aaliyah, the reason why Aaliyah can talk is because she, um, the drinking the water of life allows a Bene Gesserit to access their ancestral memories, which means the memories of everyone before you
Hmm.
on the maternal line.
Yeah. Um, so there's no ranking this one this week,
No.
or
Otherwise, Doom Part 2 is just number one, and we can just call it there, and just no matter what we do in Star Wars, it will always pale in comparison to Doom Part 1, Part 2.
I think it was fine. Um, was there anything else on your agenda?
Well, I have two other Star Wars things if you want to talk about that. Um,
Um,
Are you caught up on the Bad Batch at all? We can just skip that if you're not.
I am not.
Okay. I have. We can check in on our predictions. Remember we did those
Predictions.
predictions? Remember we did the
Oh
predictions?
yeah, we can check in on
Let
those.
me find that document. And the other thing I had is, are you going to go and see Phantom Menace in theaters?
If it is available in a theater near me, maybe.
They're next weekend. It's opening.
Oh.
It's getting a major theatrical run for the 25th anniversary, and they're going to be showing a preview, um, of what's it called? Of what was that? Of the Acolyte. They're going to show a lengthy preview of the Acolyte.
Oh.
Um,
Let me see. So you said what is it? Maybe we can check up on our predictions next time. Let's see. So you said it's Phantom
Phantom
Menace.
Menace. Yep.
Menace is the one that's gonna be tickets in theaters near me. Oh, no normal ones.
No normal theaters doing it.
Well, there's some AMC's and a Regal.
What's a normal theater if not AMC or Regal?
It's just where it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, like, no, the theater close to you is not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
next weekend. It's opening against the Fall Guy.
Here, let's see. Hmm. Oh, I'd have to drive quite the ways,
Yeah,
over an hour.
oh, but is it worth it to see that duel at the end of the movie in?
It might be.
It's like,
So,
that's the thing is that it's like I'm not one to do movies in theaters on a second run, but there are
hmm.
certain movies that I will, spend. Like I saw Dune 4 times in a theater, and I saw Dune Part One the week before because they showed that in IMAX with a
Hmm.
preview of Part Two. And the preview was
Did you
just
get your Dune bucket?
I did not get the Dune bucket.
Why?
I heard a podcast
It's
refer
such
to
a
it as the
meme.
Dussy, and I was
Yeah, why
like, that's
didn't you get
perfect.
it?
Because I didn't want to buy the fuck bucket.
But it's
Um,
such a meme. Like, that's hilarious.
like I've never bought one of the popcorn buckets. I've bought the souvenir cups. I have a Spectre cup somewhere. Um,
You did what with a cup?
the Spectre cup,
What is that?
the cup from Spectre, the James Bond movie.
Oh,
I have
there
that.
was a cup there?
They release cup like they do souvenir cups and souvenir popcorn buckets for major
Oh.
movies. So like
Oh.
I almost bought the cup for Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, which
Hmm.
like can I pitch you on this Godzilla movie if you're not already sold on it, this Godzilla and King Kong movie?
I can tell
Um
you now, I'm not super into Godzilla, but I do like King Kong.
that's bizarre. But let's just get into the one thing that they should have put in the trailer that probably would have sold more tickets quickly. So there's that baby Kong in the movie, the one that kind of looks like
Mm,
Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle.
no, I don't know what you're talking
All right, well,
about.
there's a baby King Kong in the movie, like a baby great ape in the movie. At
Okay.
one point, the baby attacks King Kong and these other guys also these other apes also do. Um, so Kong retaliates by grabbing the baby by the leg and using the baby as a weapon to beat the fuck out of the other two chimps.
That's a little fucked.
It's hilarious. And I found the document, so I have the document here. Um, we do have.
Uh,
It'll be quick. We'll go through because you don't have to answer any questions.
okay.
We're just gonna go through and see what we've gotten so far. So number one, does Andor season 2 come out in 2024? We both said 2025, so we're both right. We're
Yay.
both right so far. Number two, which comes first, the Acolyte or Skeleton Crew? You said Skeleton Crew. I said the Acolyte. So I take a 2-1 lead.
Don't be so smug.
Then the next one is, does the Bad Batch season 3 come out in 2024? We both said no. We were both wrong. Um, then we said, does Tales of the Jedi season 2 come out in 2024? Now this one's weird, because we both answered the same, so I'll defer to you if we want to count it or not. Technically, the anthology show is coming out this year. It comes out in like 2 weeks, but it's Tales of the Empire.
You said what?
So, Tales of the Jedi. Remember Tales of the Jedi that came out a few years ago?
Yeah.
It is coming out, season 2, but it's not Tales of the Jedi. It's called Tales of the Empire. It's another anthology about stories from within the Empire. Animated. So
Hmm.
there's a Thrawn episode.
I think that counts.
Alright, so we'll count that. So we'll each get 1 point on that. Three, two. Um, do any of the three confirmed movies get confirmed release dates? We both said yes. Again, I'm going to defer to you on this. We both said yes. We specifically listed out New Jedi Order, Heir to the Empire, Dawn of the Jedi. A movie did get a release date, but it's not one of those three. The Mandalorian and Grogu got a concrete release date in 2026, May
I think
22nd.
1 point for the yes and no bonus points for the movies.
All right, so we'll count. Well, so we're at the same point. Do any of the three confirmed movies get an official title? I'm gonna say that we're both wrong on that, because we didn't. None of those movies got confirmed titles. Do any of the three movies enter production? We both said yes. As of right now, we're still both wrong because none of those movies got it. Does The Mandalorian get confirmed for season 4? We were both wrong. We both said no. It was confirmed for season 4, coming after The Mandalorian and Grogu. Does Ahsoka get confirmed for season 2? We both said yes. That's a point for both of us. They did get confirmed for season 2. Do any other Disney Plus shows get announced? You said probably. I said yes. We still don't have an answer on that. Does The Acolyte get renewed for season 2? You said maybe. I said yes. Still no answer on that. Does
Wait, are the rest of them no answers?
Let me go through. Does Yoda appear in the Acolyte? Do any major characters in the High Republic show up besides Vanestra Rowe? We didn't have an answer. Do any other animated shows get announced? We don't have an answer. Do any other major characters appear in Skeleton Crew? We don't have an answer. Do any actors from the sequel trilogy get confirmed for New Jedi Order? No answer. And do any books that take place outside of the High Republic or the movie eras get announced? We have not gotten an answer on that. So right now I'm
So,
leading 5-4.
so
Um,
what was the thing that happened at the uh what happened at the GameStop again?
I went in to walk around and then came out.
And but what was the argument?
Today? None.
No, what did we argue about?
Oh, that wasn't GameStop. That was Best Buy.
Oh. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Okay. You said GameStop earlier.
Yeah, GameStop's
Um,
where I went into.
yeah, but you said that GameStop was the episode that we'd had an argument on.
Oh, no, no, no. The argument was Best Buy. We went in, I went into
That's
Best
okay.
Buy and asked a question, and
That's
I
not what
said,
you said. So
oh,
that's why I was like I was confused. So I was like, what happened at Best Buy? Um,
at GameStop.
GameStop. Yeah, but okay, but it was the Best Buy one. No, I remember
Yeah.
that one now.
Yeah.
That's funny. Hmm.
Yeah. So, do you want to wrap up
Yeah.
there? Is that what you want
Yeah.
to do?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Sounds
I'm
great. Because I'm tired. I didn't get
I'm
my soda.
tired too.
We will wrap up there with our Dune episode. If you want to hear me blow Dune some more, we have no shortage of ways you can do that. Beware of
It
spoilers.
literally comes up in every episode of everything that Adam records. So
You
mm,
say that as a joke, but it did happen earlier this week. Um,
I wasn't joking.
oh, you listen?
No, I just know you.
Oh, okay.
And like it's also come up a few times in just the Star Wars thing.
That's true.
So in just
Um,
our recording, so I can imagine. And you text me about it. So yes, you literally have probably talked about it in everything that you record. So
yeah, I did blow Dune earlier this week in something. I don't remember what, but I did blow Dune in something earlier this
I'm
week.
not surprised.
Um,
I did call that, so
but yeah, if you want to hear specifically me talk about Dune, beware of spoilers. I did do a review of Dune Part 2, and me and Peter did do a lengthy episode where the two of us double teamed it. Um, what?
okay. Two boys, one Dune.
Yeah,
All right,
there's the episode
bye.
title this week.
Good
There's this week's
bye.
episode title. Have a great rest of your week. It's like Costanza going out on top.
Yep, yep.